Hello everyone, this is the Raven's Librarian. Welcome you to the third part playthrough of Steamworld Quest, Hand of Gilgamesh. In the last part, our two heroes from the forest reached their village to find that it was being attacked by a group calling themselves the Void that was going after the guild that is nearby their town. After recruiting one of their village friends, heroes set off for the guild to find out what's going on and to help. We're off to see the heroes. Okay, I think that was the last of the fires. I feel like a wrung out piece of cloth. That was awesome, Galileo. Giving it all the last drops, that's what being a hero is all about. Not everyone obsesses about that stuff as much as you do, you know. I'm taking a nap. Just wake me up when dinner's ready. There's no time for rest. We gotta find out where the guild heroes are. Much as I'd like to not get dragged into another of Armely's adventures, she's right. The guild heroes are missing. The town almost burned down to the ground. Not to mention an invading army led by some dark lord. Oh, maybe someone's still at the guild club. That's a good idea. And the fastest way there is... I am not walking through the apple orchard again. Last time I got stung 9 times. Oh god, are there bees in this part? The bees are annoying, but we don't have any time to spare. Let's go. Dogged by misfortune. Hmm. Imagine luck applies to criticals. I'll probably give to her. Also, I think I might in the last video I missed one of the chests. But I think I redid the chapter and just got it afterwards. Oh, hey, the merchant moved. Hey, there's that wagon again. Practical. Can we go see if she's open for business? I admit I am a bit curious as well. Yes, time to spend some of that hard-earned loot. Hello, mysterious shopkeeper lady, are you in? Ah, if it isn't the young knight of the woods and her scholarly friend. A fair bit worse for wear since last we met, though you seem to have picked up a friend along the way. This is some collection of stuff you got here. Oh, nothing so grand as a collection. Trifles, baubles, and knickknacks. Merely whatever odds and ends an old woman has managed to lay her paws on, that's all. How about swords? I like swords. I'm sure you'll find something to your liking. Feel free to browse. Serious traveling merchant can provide a number of services. Besides buying new equipment and supplies, you can also create new cards for your heroes as well as upgrade existing ones. The merchant's inventory grows over time, so check in with her whenever you run across her wagon on your adventures. From your craft card screen, you can create new cards by spending materials. Materials are typically found as rewards for defeating enemies in the wild. Crafting a card, you will get between 1 and 4 copies of that card. Depending on the card, you can still choose how many copies you want to actually play with. Craftable cards can't be acquired by any other way, and new cards will be unlocked for crafting as you progress the story. So be sure to check out the shop again when you get to a new location. In the last part, I don't know if I made up my mind after the fact, but I named the episode a bit of a joke title, calling it like "The Hero's Town is Never Safe." So I think it's fairly obvious why I called it that. Like, it is a very common fantasy trope. Like, if you're a hero, and if obviously you live in a small village out in the woods, then there is a decent chance that by the time your prologue's over, or not the prologue, at some point, you know, you're gonna wind up going back to that town, and that town or village is gonna get just either destroyed or attacked or some combination in between. It is really weirdly common for that to occur in fantasy and fiction. I believe this one in the back of the shroud. I believe that's a trick to like make it hard for you to hit them. Uh, what's that? I guess they're naming towns that where in fantasy stories where that happens, but then that's probably spoiling. I don't want to just jump ahead and start ruining other people's adventures just because they're old stories to me. That might be enough. So I didn't really think of that, but I just realized these guys have an apple orchard. Do they eat the apples? And if the answer is no, then what's the apple orchard for? Man, my memory must be really, really shoddy at this. I mean, maybe there's no explanation. Like, this game maybe never gives an explanation for why. It's just a quirky little thing that I only happen to think about. Damn. I wonder how having your nearby village be have a apple orchard, how common that is in real life. Sure, there's other examples in fiction. The only one that's coming right up top of my head is My Little Pony. It's like one of the main characters' entire family is dedicated to gathering those types of well, collecting apples. Uh, Focus card. This card is in your clip. No, no, wrong place. Raises Copernicus magic and grants additional redraws. That actually sounds really useful. Let's see how that goes. Also, yeah, bees being an enemy. Although I love how. Could you imagine in real life having to deal with something like this with a giant drill? So far it's been bandit, 2 types of grunts, and bees. Isn't it kind of sad that the bees are considered a tougher enemy than the void's minions? I think that's kind of sad and hilarious. Let's see how much of a difference this makes. It makes a lot of difference. Also, I wasn't paying attention, but the card actually changed number because of that, because of the card I used at the start. So how many redraws is it? 3. Alright, that's a fair number. Let's see. If I use it once, what happens? It'll be invisible for the whole turn. Oh, you didn't actually. So either I got lucky there or I'm completely wrong and that thing isn't in. That does something else and it's not actually making them hard to hit. Oh, you can see a couple of people in the background. I'm guessing we're going to talk to them now. Wait. There's something here. Oh, never mind. Still breaking the box. Alright, Boyd's there. I was actually going to mention that was a little weird that they burned down the town, but they left this place completely fine. They might be trying to steal the apples. Oh, there's a couple in the background. I don't know if you can see them. They're in the... Oh god, I can't tell left from right. They're in one of the corners. I need to heal. The fact that there's people in the background, I wonder if that's like a flaw of like presentation that they just kind of forgot the Void Army was supposed to be ransacking this place, or if that's deliberate to show that they're not just taking everybody. So I messed that up. I need to pay attention when they're with the character that makes the counter. No, so it does count. So even if the attack is a rebound, that guy will, the counter attack will still register. Oh wait, that's way better. Yeah, that focus card really helps with the damage. Yeah, I don't need to heal at this point. Ah, wait, did I not use this already? Oh, so it does. So it reappears even after I use it. So it's more. Oh, so the boost is probably for like a few turns. Man, I have got to keep up with this. Played the game a long time ago, so now I gotta relearn all the tricks. I can't remember the last time I was this far from a basement. About time then. Adventure. I was hoping that would tell me where to go. That's secret path here. No. Dang. So I'm guessing their attack is physical based. That I don't know if it tells me, but I'm gonna assume it anyway. So far, it's been mostly physical enemies we've had to deal with. I do know at which point that stops being the trend and we start dealing with more variety in the enemies. Don't recall if it's a chapter or two chapters from now, but we'll get there. At least I hope. Also, and I probably should have asked this sooner. I would ask it in the comment sections. I should. Sadly, no one's seen the videos yet, but uh, regardless, when someone sees it, the question would be whether people would want these videos to be as long as it takes to get through the chapter, or if they'd rather I split the videos up by a certain time frame. I've seen different recommendations scattered all over the place on the internet. Like some people say it should be shorter, 30 minutes. Other people say, you just make them as long as possible because that's just based on traction, video rates. That's just what kind of people like to watch. I've seen both types on YouTube, which is why I'm not totally sure what the right response would be from me. This might not work out. We'll see. Like the simple answer is whatever gets me views, and that is ultimately what I would like to get. Oh man, of all the luck, it's it's The strongest card is the one that the bee dodges. That's a good luck stat right there. Yeah, this shit wrap. Wait. You survived that. Hero. And which one do you think's sillier? The guy beating up bees with his bare fist, or the lady trying to beat him up with a book? I mean, main character is silly and all, but she actually, has a sword. I keep going the wrong way. People in the background just picking apples. Calm as you please. Oh, 4. Okay, so these numbers are getting high. Yeah, I should have brought the AoE attacks after all. Alright, make what we can of it. Get the shield stat as fast as possible. A common problem I have in my own tactic is I tend to sometimes think very defensively with the characters. So what I'll try to do a lot of the time is get Copernica, the mage, to use her shield ability. But because I'm doing that, I'm not actually focusing on doing damage. Which means I'm wasting a lot of turns trying to avoid taking hits when I could have just, gone on the offensive and solved my problem, like so. It's actually a bit of what the AI has in terms of its problem, but it just keeps like healing it. The mage is this mage enemy likes to heal itself rather than actually attack me. I am going to heal, but mostly because, yeah, want to avoid the damage stacking up for the next fight. Oh, now we have, okay. That's, I haven't seen that attack yet in this playthrough. Damn, so close. So right now my biggest attack is the one Galileo has. But that one only works once you accumulate a lot of steam points. Overall, the knight in the middle is still the best offensive person I have. There's that. A common thing in RPGs is, with the exception of like some very tough bosses, once you have the numbers advantage, more party members than the enemy has units, you have a pretty decisive advantage and are probably gonna win because the enemy simply has fewer turns by which they can actually do anything to stop you. So Copernica definitely, I just realized Copernica actually does the most damage, just not physically. But her magic is the biggest attack. Oh, that's why they were guarding the loot. That might actually be what those guys were doing here. Deals a lot of strength as physical damage to one foe. If the foe is scrapped, any excess damage will be dealt to all other foes. Oh, that's very useful. And yeah, straight up money. So yeah, that was pretty much, they were quite literally guarding the loot. This was really calm, considering, the nearby town almost got set completely on fire. Better say. Following the trend so far probably means this is where the boss is gonna be. Mm. Annoying, feels inadequate here. That must be the drill queen. Our heroes ready themselves for an audience with a twist. Don't you mean Sting? Boss music is epic. So same thing with the mushroom guy, but she's probably gonna be tougher to beat, and the things she spawns are probably more effective than the little mushroom fellas the first boss used. The question is whether I want to actually eliminate them or prioritize the queen. Because with the other guy, the first boss, it was easy to just finish them off in one turn. It wasn't, much of a loss, so it wasn't that hard of a decision to make. But here, might actually be worth considering not doing that. Queen shouldn't be able to dodge this. Also, they can also dodge stat debuffs. Uh, uh, Taking a lot of scrap damage. Probably not the right word to use there, but it's the one that came to mind. No, not yet. And most will probably just take out one, see what happens. If he respawns, then yeah, and it's probably not worth doing it, focusing on the little guys. If he doesn't respawn, then all the more reason to take out one of them. Sometimes I get really conflicted over whether I should really go for the redraw effect or just go with what the game gives me. So yeah, she respawns pretty easily. So that might have been because she had all the gear stored up. So it might be a turn thing. So that debuff. Use this card. That's the only problem with having a lot of the stat buff cards. They tend to show up in groups. As long as the boss can't heal, we should be fine. Also, yeah, it heals when. At least take out one. That's probably going to be a waste. But it might stack. Yeah, it only dodges some, doesn't dodge all of them. Even if I don't get the combo. This will hopefully take out everybody. Easier. That works. wonder if the queen's attacking just 'cause, or if it's because, you know, is this normal? Does the queen just attack anybody who walks through this path? Or is it because the Void Army just went through? And so the queen might be a bit on edge. I know it's just a boss, so there doesn't really need to be a complicated reason for it, but don't have any at the same. But sometimes there's like very simple, straightforward explanations. Like before, I'll try to take out at least one of them. Can't control where it goes, so not much to do there. Getting close. So as usual, the mage is the one that's always at risk of dying. This should do it. I suppose the only question is whether, no, if kill the queen, the rest go. Ah, so close. Huh. Chapter didn't just end. At least this time it's different. Okay. So the guild heroes is past this field. So I wonder who owns the field. Ah, the heroic heroic fields of fairways, where the brave heroes of the guild leisurely limber up between their heroic deeds. That's a golf course. It's just a golf course. So already setting up a tone for what we should expect from these guild hero types. Halt! This is a members only facility. Show me your membership cards or leave the premises. Lenny, we just ran into an army that tried to burn down town hall. We must speak to Guildmaster Gaines. You are looking at acting Guildmaster Bartimax, and yes, I know about that army. In fact, how can I be sure you're not with them? Okay, dude, I'm sure they're about to bring it up, but if we can assume anything from this main character, like, she's been here before. Sure, you don't let her in, but she's been here before. Please do not pretend like you've never met her. But we grew up together. You've known us your whole life. That is hard to forget. Rude. Anyway, you won't find any other guild heroes here. The void took them all. And why didn't they take you? You are all that's left? This is serious. Why aren't you getting ready to go after him? The statute clear the, the statutes clearly state that the clubhouse can't ever be left unguarded. Former Guildmaster Gaines was very clear on that matter. Well, you're very quick to put former. I'm obliged to stay here. You are not a member of the guild, so you can't see how much work goes into this. The paperwork alone is a nightmare. But we have to act fast. Hey, why don't the three of us go after him? You? I remember back in summer camp when you got lost in your own tent. Oh, come on, it was really dark. Besides, you need to be a member of the guild to stage an official rescue party, and as we all know, if it's not an official rescue party, it doesn't count. Person has to go back and get lost. Okay, so no official rescue party then. How about we make this an unofficial operation? Oh god. Don't make me laugh. You'd only get yourselves captured and... Hey, that's not a bad idea. As acting master of the guild, I give you my permission to stage an unsanctioned rescue party. Without any recognition from the guild, of course. Right. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to familiarize myself with my new office. It's high time for biscuits and a session in a massage chair. Okay, so he's either the worst example of what this guild is like, or he's a perfect example of what this guild is like. I mean, for God's sakes, their banners, I don't know if you can see them in the background, are literally a sword, and in place of two, it's a freaking, is that a golf club? Yeah, I think that's what they're called. Guildmaster Lenny, huh? Someone's riding the gravy train. That's Lenny, always eager to climb the career ladder. But I can't help thinking there's something more going on here than a straight-up promotion. Never mind that. This could be my big chance to get a guild membership. Normally, every time you get that look, I just know there's gonna be trouble. By saving the guild heroes, I'll definitely prove my worth to Master Gaines. Even more than when I helped them keep those hungry gophers away from the heroic fields of fairways. Oh, I really thought he was gonna make me a member that time. First of all, he said gophers, not golfers. I honestly don't know the difference. I mean, I see the letter difference, but I don't know what either of those things are. And Lenny made it very clear that this wouldn't give you any recognition from the guild. But Lenny's wrong. The Hero's Handbook states that real heroics don't have to be sanctioned. Besides, the village is unprotected now. We need those guild heroes back. I don't know. I'm not in the mood for a field trip, and these buns won't eat themselves. Eating buns in your mother's basement won't help if the Void Army comes back. If they keep setting houses on fire, goodbye free rent. I don't like fire. Or paying rent. We could stay here and rot for the rest of our lives. Or we could go on a date with Destiny and an evil army. Come on, Coco, if this ain't a chance to deploy knowledge practically for the good of the many, then what is? See? I do in fact pay attention to what you say. First chapter. Also, technically, that's him, no, sorry, that's her, quoting someone else, who I believe is also a her. I can't believe I'm saying this, but you're actually making sense. I mean, she does actually say pretty straightforward things most of the time. It's just, she's a huge fangirl. We have to take this seriously. I mean, you'd think your whole town getting set on fire would have made that pretty clear, but okay. Alright, let's follow their tracks. Raises Armley strength by 1 grade for 3 turns, 2 grades if she is below 50% of her maximum health, and 3 grades if she is below 25%. Oh yeah, that's fine, but I'm not carrying all your stuff. I also remember summer camp. After a nice deliberation with acting guildmaster Bartimax, the trio head out on the heels of the evil Void Army to rescue the captured guild heroes. So, well, hope you all enjoyed that. Sorry if I didn't talk as much during the boss fight. I need to get used to coming up with things to discuss. I mean, I'm not just gonna spout nonsense just to fill the void, void. But, I'm not, also not, I'm gonna make this a talk playthrough, I'm gonna actually talk. Not just go silent every time I run out of things to say. But hopefully I'll get better. And hopefully you'll all still be willing to tag along in the next part. Until then, it's been the Raven's Librarian. Have a pleasant time, everyone. See you in the next one.